Hi, this is Brant from TradeGuild.blogspot.com, and it is August 9th, almost August 10th. It's kind of late. Anyway, if you check my blog last night's post, which would be August 8th, you can see my reasoning of why I thought the market was headed for a leg lower, not just today, but in the coming days. Anyway, we saw the S&P yesterday break below. This is a half-hour chart, and you can see the S&P broke below this nice trend line, and this morning it gapped up over here, and we had a nice little pocket of strength early on. This was a great opportunity to go short. I usually do an afternoon update so you can get some stocks, some ideas before the closes. That's where I like to trade. But I moved that up to the mid-morning update for the first time, and that was to take advantage of this early strength and go ahead and go short some stocks. You can see subsequently what's happened. It's just fallen apart. And I'm going to show you real quick the Dow too. And same story, a little bit of a different setup, but just as nice. Yesterday we had this breakdown through that trend line in the Dow, and this morning it rallied back up to that trend line, which is now acting as resistance right in here. So this was a really wonderful spot, really, to go ahead and go short. So, we put out the messages. Hopefully everybody, had an opportunity to get in some stock short. I want to just show you real quick too. Here's the Dow Jones, and what we're looking at here is TSV in the bottom window, and I hope you can see it. I know there's a little YouTube thing over it sometimes, but anyway, TSV, we had the price high here and a little bit higher high over here, and TSV, we have a high above the zero line, and the next peak is actually below the zero line, or just slightly above. So that's a relative divergence from relative to each other. It's also present in the S&P. I'm just going to pull that up real quick. And here we go. And you can see it as price is actually has a little bit of an upward slope. TSV has a downward slope. So it's telling us this new double top, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure that's the right thing to call it, but it shows us that on the second top there's a significant weakness in forming that. So that said, there's not a whole lot of shorts left that I think are in good position without chasing a little bit. But here's a Cigna symbol CI, healthcare plans, and I like this chart on a weekly time frame. I'm just zooming out right now. And what you can see is we had this really nice uptrend. This goes back, I think, to '03. Very solid. Some people made a lot of money there. And it broke down on pretty good volume over here earlier in the year through that 50 bar moving average, which is 250 day at this point. And you can see it's rallied right back up to that level. So we like to support, we like to short at former support, which is now acting as resistance. If I go ahead and show you a daily chart and I zoom out a little bit, you can see that we are rallying pretty close to the 200-day moving average, which roughly corresponds to this support level back here in '05 from August to actually January of '06. So that level was a former support. Once it was broken through here, it becomes resistance over here. So we're seeing price in Cigna rallying up to that resistance level, which makes a great opportunity for a short. And I love these shorts. I love these shorts or longs, really, that look great on a weekly chart, because it says, it's not just a blip on the radar. It's got some legs to it. It's got some meat, some juice behind it. So if we take a look at this trend channel too, I'm going to zoom this out to a 5-day, a weekly. You can see clearly, this trend, as if you couldn't identify it before, has just clearly broken out, and it's making this little attempt to rally back up and kiss that channel goodbye. If we look at TSV 18, which is in the bottom window here, you can see as price was rising, TSV, the slope of it, was headed down. So this is telling us, there's a problem here. Something's going on. Be on the lookout. And, of course, that's what we saw in, it looks like April. Anyway, I want to show you one other thing here. And what that is These accumulation distribution indicators I have from Warden. They're proprietary to Warden's Telechart. And what we see here, if I zoom out to a weekly, is this just huge plunge in money stream. I mean, you can see it there. You also see the divergence here. Look how high money stream is at this price level. Now look at the new high in price and the new low in money stream. So price is headed up, money stream is headed down. That tells us the technical buying is just not present in this second top, or in the most recent high. And it is now in a leading divergence. You can see money stream hasn't, we're looking at a weekly chart, it hasn't been this low in years. Same thing with time segmented volume on this weekly chart. Let me clean that up a little bit. And here we go. The price high here, the newer high here, price is sloping up. TSV is sloping down. BOP right here is showing red selling. So we have all three indicators are in gear, confirming each other, saying that there's a problem here. And we are now entering an area over here, this resistance zone. Try to get through that red line. And it looks like a really good opportunity for a short. So keep your eye on Cigna. I like that a lot. I'm going to try to show you one more if I have time. I can only have a 10-minute video for YouTube for uploading, but that is symbol AL, which is Alcan Inc. This is aluminum, and we're going to look at a 3-day chart here, and this looks like, to me, a little head and shoulder, actually a very big head and shoulders top. And here we go, shoulder, head, shoulder. It's a little bit complex over here. We have two peaks, but that's okay. We have this typical volume that you see, the volume's running up into the shoulder. Actually, we'd like to see a little bit lighter in here, but on the back side of that head, you can see we have this big volume in there. And forming this third shoulder, we don't have a lot of volume. So we're waiting for a break here. And we're going to look at a couple different things, but I want to show you just quickly this measuring formula for head and shoulders. Basically, you take the neckline. This is our neckline here. And that is somewhere around $42. And then you take the top of the head, which is about $58. And you say, what is that? How much does that represent in dollars? And quick math, I think it's 16. So then you take 42, that's your neckline, and subtract 16 from that. That's your measuring implication. So our measuring implication would be, I think if my math is right, about $26. In this case, I'm not sure we make it quite down to 26. If I just widen this chart out, you can see we have kind of like a double bottom down here. And that is, I think, around $29. So let's say our target, overall, over a period of many months, is somewhere around 29, which is a pretty juicy target, I think. On the setup, on our entry, you can see we have some resistance here at 48, right in there. So we're at a very, and this is the right shoulder, we're at a decent level right now to go ahead and short this sucker. Obviously I'd like to be close to 48, but 46 isn't bad. So, I think that's very doable. One thing on this daily chart is look at this on the top of this head. You see that? That is a perfect shooting star. Let me take that away so you can see it. But there's our shooting star. The Japanese say when you see a shooting star on a chart, that means there's trouble overhead. And as you can see, that was the top of the price move there. So certainly there was some trouble there. Quickly looking at the accumulation distribution screen, I'm going to zoom on out to a weekly since that's what we're looking at. And just look at this. I mean, money stream here has just been plunging down. Big problems here over the long term. And what we also see is this little price high right here, and money stream's right there. And now we have a new high. Money stream should be confirming that high. It should be way up here. It's down here. So that's a relative divergence. Now when we look at this plunge here, that's a leading divergence. I think we're in a good short here. But that's it for this video. I'll be back.